The night was tense in Ouagadougou. Ibrahim Traoré moved quietly through the corridors of the military base, aware that every decision he made tonight could change the course of his country. Rumors of unrest had been circulating for weeks, and the city was on edge. Traoré didn't hesitate. He knew that waiting would only allow chaos to grow. By dawn, the streets were alive with whispers. Citizens peered from their windows, unsure of what to expect. Traoré and a small group of loyal officers had already secured key points in the capital. No grand speeches, no unnecessary violence, just precise, calculated moves. It wasn't about power for its own sake. It was about protecting a nation that had been teetering on the edge for too long. The hours that followed were filled with tense negotiations and quick decisions. Traoré had to convince skeptical commanders to trust him, while also keeping the public calm. Every wrong word, every misstep, could have turned the city into a battlefield. But he was patient, listening as much as he commanded, reading the room with a clarity that surprised even his closest allies. By mid-afternoon, the situation had shifted. What could have spiraled into conflict became a moment of cautious optimism. Roads reopened, and citizens began to understand that something had changed. Traoré did not seek applause. He did not march through the streets with banners. Instead, he focused on the work behind the scenes, rebuilding communication channels, restoring order, and quietly reaching out to international observers to ensure stability. What set this moment apart was how ordinary people started to notice his presence, not as a distant figure of authority, but as someone who seemed to act with purpose. Markets reopened, children returned to school, and life cautiously resumed its rhythm. Traoré moved among these ordinary scenes like a shadow, making sure the fragile calm he had created would last. By evening, the city held its breath no longer. The unrest had been contained, not through loud declarations, but through careful planning, patience, and a determination that seemed almost instinctive. Ibrahim Traoré had not only acted decisively, he had reminded a weary nation that leadership sometimes comes in quiet, deliberate steps rather than grand gestures.